Thanks, Katie and Haley. Welcome back to Pregame, where football isn't the only thing on the agenda.
Iowa wrestling is taking over Pregame, including Kinnick Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
Saturday, November 14th is the official opening day of the college wrestling season. As for Iowa, they're going to be doing it outside.
Wrestling reporter Zach Mackey has more on this historic grapple on the gridiron against top-ranked Oklahoma State.
40,000 people are expected to flock to Kinnick Stadium a little early this Saturday for Grapple on the Gridiron. It's being dubbed one of the biggest events in all of wrestling, and it's been in the works for quite some time.
Back when Tom first got here and we set the record, I don't know what year we set the record in, but he said if anybody ever broke it that we were going to come to Kinnick, and that was I think probably in 8, 9, or 10, somewhere around there. So we've been thinking about it for a while, and this just happened to be a good time to do it.
Iowa's fans are the driving force behind this decision.
Tell you what, it's important to our program and our fans are probably the number one motivation for us is because they want to have the record. They take a lot of pride in it.
There is not a lot of difference for the Hawkeyes going from inside Carver Hawkeye Arena to outside in Kinnick Stadium.
What changed is our preseason got amped up a little bit, a little sooner. Not working into the season at all. As far as preparation, it's go time right away.
Many people want to know how the weather is going to play a factor in a mid-November wrestling meet outside.
Yeah, everybody always talks about that. Like, what about the weather? What about the weather? It's going to be freezing. How are you going to do it? But once you, get out there and start wrestling, I don't think it's going to be a factor. I mean, your adrenaline, it's not going to matter.
The temperature isn't a problem. Once these guys get warmed up, and they get a good sweat going, they come out, and then you're wrestling and you don't think about really anything other than wrestling. The rain or the snow is the one thing that would probably be close to a deal breaker, just because we can't have guys slipping around and hurting themselves, and that really would change the dynamic of a match as if the mat got slippery.
Not only is Iowa wrestling outside, but they're doing it against the #1 team in the country.
Is something that you're looking at. You want a solid performance, but it comes down to those individual weight classes. We have to be ready to wrestle every match. When it's your turn to step on the mat, you got to be ready to wrestle. And that's a timeless philosophy, a timeless principle. And if you're not ready and things start to derail a little bit, you better be able to stop what's derailing you.
For Daily Iowan TV Sports, I'm Zach Mackey.
Danny, they are expecting to sell 10,000 walk-up tickets the day of the event.
As for Iowa football, tickets are completely sold out for their game against the Gophers.
The sold-out crowd will not only be electric for the game itself, but also for one player who is making his return to the field after being injured the last 3 weeks. Let's find out who. Everyone has been waiting to hear these words.
It looks like we'll get Jordan Canzeri back. He's been able to practice pretty efficiently and well, so happy about that.
Senior Jordan Canzeri is back on the depth chart, sliding right in line with Akram Wadley, Derek Mitchell Jr., and LaShawn Daniels Jr.
We all pitching in. Jordan Canzeri definitely our leader, and we feeding off his energy. Him and CJ, They come in juiced up, then we right behind them juiced up. Whenever Jordan make a big play, that makes us want to make a big play.
These 4 running backs have a bond unlike most.
And that's a position where you could have jealousy, creep in pretty quickly and pretty easily.
Because we're a close-knit group of people in our running back room. We're always rooting for one another whenever someone else is in, going out there and making plays.
Canzeri, Wadley, Daniels, and Mitchell have combined net rushing yards reaching 1,623, which might explain why offensive lineman Cole Croston believes this offense is at its best when the running game is on point.
I think personally we're at our best when we can run the ball, because when we're running the ball, then we can make our play action fakes and we can throw it deep, and we can do everything through our offense if we can run the ball. Yep.
A question that keeps being brought into play is how the rotation is going to work. Kirk Ferentz puts it simply.
But if we have them all, that's great, and we'll play them all if they're healthy.
This Iowa rushing offense is second in the Big Ten with 1,845 yards, right behind Ohio State and Ezekiel Elliott at 2,165 yards.
There had been some talk regarding Iowa's Akram Wadley. He had a light week due to possible injury, but lucky for him, he has 3 running backs willing to carry his load.
Turning our focus now to how Iowa matches up with Minnesota on the gridiron with a veteran quarterback and an experienced secondary. Katie Reber tells us more.
Saturday's Big Ten matchup against the Minnesota Golden Gophers will be a chance for the Hawkeyes to retake possession of the Floyd of Rosedale. The Hawks are 2-0 in trophy games this season. Minnesota's team looks a little different this year. Iowa will face its third interim head coach this season as Tracy Claeys brings the Golden Gophers to Kinnick. When it comes to defense, the Hawkeyes are red hot. Iowa ranks second in the Big Ten in red zone defense, allowing only 15 scores in 20 trips. Minnesota has made only 26 trips to the red zone, second fewest in the Big Ten. Iowa also has a Big Ten best 20 takeaways. Minnesota has 15, fourth most in the Big Ten. Don't forget about Iowa's power offense, as the Hawks have outscored their opponents 50-16 in the first quarter and 37-0 in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Iowa has an average of just over 100 rushing yards per game, third best in the Big Ten and 9th nationally. Saturday night's game will be a historic game for the Hawks as they aim for their best start in school history, 10-0. This has been Katie Reber, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Big Ten currently has 5 teams in the top 25, and there are some big matchups coming in this weekend.
Purdue at Northwestern, Maryland at Michigan State after MSU was blindsided by a loss to Nebraska last weekend, Ohio State at Illinois.
Nebraska will be at Rutgers, Michigan at Indiana, and a 7 p.m. kickoff here in Iowa City for the Hawkeyes and Gophers.
That will do it for Danny and myself on Pregame. We will see you on wrestling opening day in Kinnick Saturday night. Katie and Haley, back to you.